Hey, this is Mike Lindsay from Vital MX. I'm here with Jacob Hayes today at Glen Helen Raceway testing the all-new Yoshimura RS-12 exhaust system for the Husqvarna FC 450. It was kind of cool because the system is pretty complete for the public. However, the Yosh guys actually wanted us to run through some inserts and some last minute ideas with it before they put it into production to see if, all their knowledge and testing time matches up with two guys' feedback. The I really suck at the moment guy and the dude that's ripping that should be maybe still racing nationals guy. So it was cool. We got to run through mostly the inserts. We're mostly seeing how the back pressure, the volume affects the power. And on a 450, that can be a drastic difference in. We did this test on a 250, 450. You can check out the 250 video, but on the 450, it's got so much power to give. It was super surprising to me is from one far end of the spectrum to the other is I'm just see the pants dynoing it here. If you ask me the difference, I would say something like 5 horsepower. I went from one insert where I could ride the bike almost wide open in sections to one insert where I'm at like quarter throttle scared for my well-being. What would you say?
I was impressed. I have never ran an insert. Anytime I get a pipe, I take it out. So please do not do that. I learned a lot today with 3 inserts that they had for us to try on this Husqvarna. So started with stock, felt good, came in, threw the pipe on, and I actually thought we were going to be changing headers and things like that. He's like, I'm going to change the insert quick. And I'm like, oh, okay. So he throws it in, and I go out there, and I'm like, whoa, what's underneath me now? So as I worked through the 3 inserts, I tried it on the mellow map and the aggressive map. For me, I chose one that really allowed me to ride the bike to its fullest potential. On a 450, for me, I feel like, yeah, you can have that really hard hitting, snappy feel, but you lose a lot of control of the motorcycle, a lot of ground feel. And then I feel like I'm kind of losing the rear end in the ruts. So I went for the most broad power band, whether it was the mellow map or the aggressive map. I really liked the mellow map. I felt like the bike, you never had to have to shift it in second gear, which I like to shift to 450, second, third, fourth. I'm a up and down kind of guy, but if you're a guy that likes to hang that thing out in second and really just rev it to the moon, this bike will do it, especially with that insert, right? I chose that insert that just gave it that long pulling power band. You never really felt like it kind of dropped off on its face when you got to the limiter, but then it also had that smooth connected feel off the bottom. For me, a great addition to the motorcycle.
It's kind of funny. So we blind test this. Me and him have no clue what the other tried. They wouldn't tell us the numbers, what they were putting anything. We ended up picking the same one. So that's the version you guys will be getting is courtesy of me and Jacob's collective blind testing. But no, we both picked the most middle of the ground system. There was one insert that would, in my opinion, is arguably easier to ride, but it made it feel so much like the stock bike that I couldn't see the value in it for a customer. The stock bike, this year, it's compared to past years, it's still very linear. KTM Husky products they have a very linear engine character on their 450s. I feel like they're not too barky or explosive. However, I feel like this one has moved downstream. I felt like the older bikes, the older engine pulled a little bit farther up top. I felt like this thing bone stock. It was a little flat feeling up top. Like, yeah, you could go to big throttle openings. It wasn't really getting away from you. It wasn't really revving quick. It wasn't that exciting. We tried the most open versions, which, like I said, for the guys that just yanked on a 450, I ran the most open thing they had that was not just pulling the insert, and I don't think I actually got the throttle past quarter or half. It was very explosive. It was a lot of drive, which was cool, but it really affected how the bike acted under decel even. It wasn't very comfortable to get into the corners. So similar to you, picked the most middle of the road, very connected off the bottom, has very good pulling power, torque off the bottom, but is very pliable. Like you can break it loose when you need it to slide, but as soon as you roll back out, it corrects. But had really, my biggest improvement was that mid to top character. Like I said, I think the less you shift, the more efficient you're being technically. I know a lot of race teams really work on making their guys where they literally only shift the 450 like once a lot, up and down one time if possible. That's how that system that me and you chose felt. It was the most broad and open, so I felt like you could almost ride all of Glen Helen in second, third in a couple places, but it just had such endless character, but not like yank you off the bike. It's so explosive.
For me, Glen Helen's fast, right? It's a really high-speed track. But I'm an East Coast guy from heart, so I know a couple tracks that are private tracks back home, maybe some public tracks that you guys might like. I would choose to ride this even on an East Coast track, because I know some people get on there and they're like, well, you're on a West Coast track. You know, it's hard packed. It's not going to be relatable. But for me, I don't like shifting. I've gotten a little bit lazier. Second gear on that 450 was everything you needed, whether it was picking up off the bottom, getting to that mid part of the power band, or if you really want to rev it out, you can. And that's what I found most impressive about those inserts is you could really tell a difference between each and every single one of them and how much it changed the motorcycle, whether it was right off the bottom and how it kind of pulled all the way through, or just in the mid part of the power.
And again, like we kind of said at the top of this, part of the reason we're doing this is, yeah, we're reviewing the pipe, but we're talking about our experience, helping them finalize it, talking about really, you know, these pipes. The goal is to find the middle ground, even between me and you. Again, blind test, big differences in speed between us. We still ended up in the same home of like, hey, this is the most rideable. It's good. There was options we could have picked that were even mellower, but we picked what, hey, this is really easy and pliable to ride, but it has all the power for the guys that are going to want it. It should work when it's low me. We had some sandberms here. I know me and you went for hard pack bearing the bike, like very conscious when we do the style testing. Flog it up hills, rev it up hills. All the systems should be available for the new KTM Husky, the 250, the 350, the 450, all by the later part of August, right about the time the 23s are in dealerships, available to buy and all the good stuff. So again, if you got one of those eyed up, you want to improve it a little bit, Yosh will have the systems ready when you go to get your new bike.